To get started, you have to create a few example applications. So choose the application you want to run. So I chose Ruby, right? So go.
Go slow and help people.
Yeah, most of us don't even have this step
Yeah,
right here.
I think it's that
way.
Okay. Closing the project.
So from the beginning, walk us through from the beginning step. Log out and log in, all the way from beginning. Step by step.
Alright, well, I'm in signing out, right? Is everybody on this side?
Signing in now.
Alright,
Signing with GitHub.
Alright, well, you can actually sign in through here too, if you want to. Like, there's a sign in with GitHub. So you click that little cat looking thing, and you wait a little. Well, I guess I was already signed in, so. Yeah, just click that and sign into your GitHub account. It should give you a login screen, right? Is everybody in this location now?
No.
Mine, it takes me straight to GitHub.
Oh, authorize it. Authorize it. So
Okay.
authorize it. Authorize that too. Like as soon as you guys hit the page where it says authorize, authorize it. So, everybody in the same thing? Yes.
Cheers. No. My head. I'm still trying to get past it.
Yeah.
It's just gonna take a second because we're all doing the same thing.
Charlie 9.
Can we see
First
Washington?
GitHub, then Charlie9.io. First GitHub, then Charlie9.io.
Trying. What? So,
You know me, I don't know my passwords.
Oh, come on, let's do that. That's it.
Get some.
Just like
Correction,
Get.
more than you know.
Don't tell me that a lot. I get that a lot. You're not the first. Yeah, you're the yeah.
Yes, I am.
Arjun.
you're all the same
Arjun.
password or get the thing that Militia has.
Just, I'm gonna toss this.
Oh, that is this one.
That's why I never played sports.
Skilled enough. Your internet. Safe for our brothers. Authorize that.
You just
Authorize
went to
it,
the
player.
demo project? Oh, so the demo project.
Alright, so. Okay, so everybody's here? Everybody's on the dashboard? Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
No.
I'll help you out.
Just plain HTML.
I don't
first.
need help.
Well, once you
I need a faster internet connection.
Okay, give me a second.
So, hey, Niku, you want to just basic stuff, begin with HTML project. Like not too complex, simple, create a new work, in your demo project.
Okay, so what I did was you go click your demo project, right? Yeah. And start editing.
So this editing, actually you are editing code at that moment. When it is start editing, it says start editing, you are editing code. There are several examples available on the left hand window. One of them is HTML. The second one is Node.js. Third one is PHP. Then Python and Ruby. There are 5 different examples, 5 or 6 different examples available. You can choose any one of them to begin with. We will begin with, first of all, read the README.
Yeah, so read me first. So it says
Which
here.
actually means really read it. Don't just assume
Yeah,
that you read it.
this isn't like a software you just install and you don't really care about. It's not really that. So it says, right, so choose the application that you want to run by selecting language folder.
Go to c9.io.
Go click that. So demo project, start editing.
Now Ruby.
Yeah, read the readme.
Read. No choice.
Oh, read.
I think, have you used the DIN code?
DEN or
Yeah. PEN code. It's like similar like that.
there are lots of these. Yeah, Nitrous.io, Pencode, So essentially what we are doing, if you want to get a big picture what's going on, is we are trying to edit some ready-made sample code and see how it actually runs. It's very trivial, like, I mean mind-numbingly trivial. There's a sample already there, you want to run it. That's all we are doing right now. Not writing it, but just running something that's already written for us. As an
Okay.
example.
So everybody's ready to read me, right? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So
Begin with HTML project.
yeah, we're gonna start with HTML.
So we are starting with the HTML project, and then there is the play button. The play button will run it, and then that's it.
We're doing
There's nothing. Yeah, HTML project first, and then click on it.
Which one?
HTML.
So just click the HTML right here, the folder, right? And you go press run. After you press run, this little screen will pop up starting Apache, HTTPD serving, demo project, NicoCloud.c9.
Mine says denied.
Why does it say denied?
Mine said denied too.
Purpose says denied.
Get ill/readme.md permission denied.
Holy crap, brother.
Oh, it. Oh, no.
Mine will let me click it.
Let's do so far.
So here it ran that HTML code sample that you have, that you click on the run button.
And then it says permission denied. I think that's why everyone's having an issue.
I think you did the first one, so you did.
Yes, one more thing. So project.
Oh, it's because it wants you to open the file inside the folder, the index.html.
Yeah, you need to do the index.html next to the not HTML folder.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Nice
Nope,
and
not really.
round.
Nope.
Still got denied.
So, you got night stuff?
Ah,
I'm still loading.
I know what it is.
Oh, right.
Okay, yeah. Did you click on index.html?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
So
you
it
got
started
different
Apache
click?
as a web server and running your application on the link you see right there at the bottom. You click that link.
Oh, okay, now you, okay, then that's this.
Yeah. So then click your demo project. So there's a link right there. So click that.
So it's trivially simple. If you click on the HTML project and then expand into the index.html file, double click on it, and then play the run button here,
Yep.
you have it running here.
It says hello world.
And all it does is says hello world,
So excited.
this link.
And
It's the fastest way to get to some code working in the cloud. I think this is the fastest way. You have end-to-end, all in the browser, no setup needed. And once you have some code running somewhere, people can at least understand what's going on to begin with. Right? So if a person comes from the street outside and is listening to you, you can at least show them what code is running somewhere and explain them these 4 or 5 examples in the demo project that itself might consume 1 hour. So we want to stay focused and make sure that they understand. And the key thing is make them change a little bit so that they will understand what is going on. I would like to have you make some modifications in this index.html file so that instead of saying hello world from Cloud9, that it says
hola, ¿cómo estás?
exactly something like that. So make some modifications, edits, and play it again.
What? No.
Fail.
And fail. So understand why it fails. That's how you debug. And so you find out what's going on and fix it in the right place.
Check out your JavaScript.
Yeah, the JavaScript editing is what is needed to make the body change. The inner text change. Inner text is written here.
Isn't it? I'm in inner text.
Yes, you are in the inner text.
Like what?
run index.html.
Yeah.
So are we adding the index or?
Oh. Did I delete something?
You
Think I
screwed
did.
it all up. The,
I screwed it up. That's why we learned.
You're on the JS site. Your link is JS. You close out on these open tabs. Go back to index.html and double click on index.html and run it again to clean up. And now run. It's still running the wrong one, I think. No, not run.
No,
It's
it's
okay now.
HTML.
It's okay now.
There we go.
There we go. So I want you to create your own customizations to this simple, trivial application in your own browser window and help you understand what are we changing and what things go where. That's a simple way to start. Not too complex, not too challenging. First stepping stone.
What? It's an actual site?
And so what did we actually change is the file called site.js. And that file gets called, listen to me this. This site.js file is being called. Somebody is calling to execute that file. Execute doesn't mean killing. Execute means running. Somebody is inviting site.js file to get executed. And when site.js executes, it says from RP6. And index.html is what the skeleton looks like. So if you go read index.html all the way, you will find somebody referencing site.js.
So we don't change anything in index.html.
You can, but not necessary. You can change everything you want, but the bare minimum change you want to do is actually in site.js, which is where the JavaScript code is sitting, and these are the two key operative files. There are some other things here like CSS. You can change some of that also. So this is like a basic look and feel can be adjusted through CSS. HTML will change the skeleton of the page itself, and JavaScript will change the body, the inner tag, whatever you write in the body paragraph itself. So I think Niku is busy changing the color from blue to pink.
Pink. It's not October anymore, but right?
And so you just change color pink, and let's run it again, see what happens. Not this file, not this file.
If you go into site.js with the like.
It's dynamic when I do it.
HTML.
Should be dynamic.
Yeah, because I have.
You don't have to run it again, it just automatically changes. You can do side by side also, nice.
Yeah.
Nice, very nice.
Site.js with the.
Bring the lima beans.
Lima.
Lima.
Lima beans.
So Lima is a city in a country called Peru. Isn't that the capital? Yeah. Lima is the capital of Peru.
Huh.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, we looked at CSS for so long.
It is called Lima, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Not Lima. That's how I know it.
But the beach is Lima.
So you're having fun with modifying HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Let's understand what we just did. HTML is the skeleton structure that puts the framework around a page. CSS will change the look and feel, styling, color, font. And JavaScript will runtime change the page itself. Whatever you put in the JavaScript file is in a folder called JS.
Is
There should
pink
be-
not a is pink not a recognized?
Pink is a color and recognized, and it was pink when he saw it.
Yeah, mine
It was
was
pink.
pink.
Yeah, it is pink.
No, give me a second.
With the
Yeah, maybe we'll put mine up.
H1 color, you can make it body color if you like. So the H1 color is pink.
Is it capital P I N K? Make sure you have your. No, I'm talking about it. Oh.
Also, the color has to be in uppercase?
No, it's whatever. Yes.
It's even cyan. That works.
I don't even come up anymore.
And the three elements here are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The JavaScript portions are runtime changes. They are this is where the actual code sits. These three things are running in your browser. HTML, CSS, JavaScript run in the browser. So can I give an assignment to you right now? I would like to have the background change the font to Times New Roman.
Just Times, is that correct?
I think it's just Times.
That's what I just did.
Can you show it to me? Change the font to Times.
Already did.
You did. Sweet. Now next assignment.
No.
Next assignment is to make the
Where's the
Main CSS.
The main CSS is right here under HTML in the CSS folder. Main CSS.
now the next thing I want you to change is as you look at any browser window at the very top of the browser, what is that thing called? I want to change that.
It's called
It's the whatever.
the title.
Yeah.
Hola,
Yeah.
¿cómo
So I want to change the
estás?
title.
It's in your HTML folder. I mean, it's
See, he
HTML file.
says in this window you say hola, ¿cómo estás?
Not how you spell it, but
Hey, it counts. It's a dog. It counts, man.
So hola, ¿cómo estás? Is it como estas, right?
it's como estas.
Right.
Hey, it's in
Hola, ¿cómo
It's
Filipino.
estás?
close. It sounds the
Yours
same.
is pink.
So hola, ¿cómo estás goes on the very top of the browser. That's what I want you to change now. And it is not in site.js, by the way. It is the skeleton. It is in index.html.
Yes, it is. What do you want it to say?
Whatever you want. Lima beans, just change it. Change something. Just to understand what we are changing. The point is to understand what are these three things, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and how they fit into creation of a page in a browser. That's the goal today, right now. Not just today. For this few minutes. We'll change the topic. We'll go to all other examples also, just so you get the perspective.
Are you gonna explain all of these? Like, why we have a bash running, and
So we'll now change the subject from HTML over to JavaScript. We have it pink colored, lima beans, and the sky is falling, whatever. Good, awesome. You change the very top line on the browser window, which was hola como estas.
I don't see, is it supposed to say it in the browser?
oh, right here on the
Very
tab,
top.
on the tab, on your tab.
Top of the browser,
¿Cómo estás?
How do you update it? Fine.
index.html,
Save it.
index.html.
I'm bad at taking notes. These notes are worthless.
Oh my god.
I'm not seeing where it is.
So should we change to another code type? Not HTML, CSS, JavaScript, but something else?
Python.
Pretty.
How did you launch it in the new window?
C plus.
Or new tab?
You just copy and paste the.
PHP.
Copy your actual
Copy
link.
the link, posted on new window. This thing is actually running on some server in some cloud somewhere with your page that you just modified, edited, and published.
And if you guys go to bash, that's your actual that's your actual box.
Hello.
The terminal
Ruby
box.
is really easy. I think it's.
Did you change the color too?
Yeah, I did that.
So somebody in the last Saturday meeting was asking me this question about what if we don't know how to code?
That was
Are they?
Somebody did that.
Yeah.
What if I don't know how to code? And you know what my answer was?
Get someone to code for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I saw a website where you had to get $5 or something.
Yes. You know what that produced crappy code? Really crappy code? The $5 people? Don't go there.
Oh no, I just saw it. I'm not saying.
Oh no, big O notation.
Yeah, he's talking about Fiverr. Fiverr.com.
Yeah, you go. I saw that. Yeah, that.
Terrible.
It's a waste of time. You would rather spend it on something useful, right? Whatever that is.
You're pretty much paying for like they'll make it a code, but it won't be the most efficient one.
Because they wanted to fix the errors.
So the point I want to say about coding is that coding is like reading, like writing, like arithmetic. Like walking and talking and meeting people and eating and all that stuff. The basic stuff we do every day is what coding is happening. It doesn't make you a developer, by the way, don't get me wrong. It doesn't, just because the fact that you can speak doesn't make you a professional speaker. But doesn't mean that you don't speak. Same thing applies here. You should code. Doesn't mean that you will become a professional coder. But a coder who can code, you can learn to code. I mean, there is no choice. You have to learn to code. Just like you have learned how to eat. As simple as that. It's basic, fundamental. Doesn't make you a professional coder. But don't have a choice. This is 2015 coming up. If you don't know, learn it. There's no shortcut. If you cannot speak English, learn it.
Walk talk.
Yes, yes. I can walk English, talk English. English is my 10th language. Crack that joke. Looks like it's break time.
Velcro.
Part of Velcro.
Why you can change this?
There it is. There it is.
You found?
No. Remember mine that crack? 6,434.
In yours?
20 minutes to keep the guy.
Yeah.
That's what
they
they
can't do
So
this.
in the same one.
I already saw them about it.
Ah, it's time we got it.
You said no. You can't do it.
Go to the Tacoma one.
No Solaris? Solaris?
No, it wasn't him. I know that guy.
Yeah, they said they couldn't do it. They don't have the glass for it yet.
Oh.
It's too new.
So should we change the HTML, CSS, JavaScript onto some other type of code?
Yes.
Are you done with HTML, CSS for now? Do you feel comfortable describing this thing to somebody else who's like randomly person walking in outside from outside?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. Yeah.
It is not rocket science, it is just coding.
It's rocket surgery.
Rocket math.
It is not rocket science, it is just
I
plain
decided
coding.
that I'm just gonna go be a rocket engineer after this.
Makes sense? Makes sense.
Right now.
Makes sense, except the problem is with rocket engineers, that there are only few people that actually hire.
It's okay.
Right. You have NASA hiring, you have ISRO hiring, like ISRO in India hiring.
You see, one of the things with that.
Because I'm horrible at math.
You're horrible at math, don't even think about rocket
I will be a
science.
great rocket scientist.
Don't go there.
I'm not horrible at math, I just need more practice.
It makes a lot of diligence.
I don't want to be a rocket scientist.
Close that one, that's funny.
Oh man,
Thanks.
we're gonna need to start coding again.
So what do you think about that company?
Mirantis is good.
No, Morantis is good. Okay.
DSHS is also good.
Who is?
DSHS, you mentioned, I gave you links on DSHS.
I see.
Did I give you the name Davis?
Name's Davis.
Go meet him.
I know, mine's messed up too.
This-
Where
Mine is I put the background as a white, so.
The Samsung thing?
White
Yeah.
or white,
No.
color white. Actually,
Nice.
it worked.
My mini browser. In a pinch.
Sweet. So, can I ask you some questions about JavaScript? The question I will ask you is, who is invoking and executing JavaScript? Pinpoint with a pen like this on your browser. Pinpoint and tell me, here is where this site.js is getting invoked and executed. Origin, not, I know where the file is, I can see it, but what is invoking it? That's the question. So you see what I'm asking is
What?
this thing, this file is written here, but who invokes it, who invites it to run? That's the question.
Index to HTML.
You don't answer,
Oh.
but that's the question. Like pinpoint exactly where? Show it to me.
Oh, it's the freedom script right there.
Now where? Like take your pen and point it here with a precision.
You see, how do you go back?
Point with precision with your mouse.
Changes.
what was the question?
Who's inviting it? Bingo, exactly, that's what you're
Script
inviting.
source equals.
So
C
how
codes,
is it
and that's
invoked?
how it is
How is this
invited.
file
Run.
invoked?
Oh,
You're
wait, I know
just-
it's this file, but I need to go find.
Right, you find that file and you run it.
And
And when you run that file, what happens?
That automatically gets run from there.
Science.
That's what coding is. There is no rocket science to coding. Is easier than math.
Mistake, then it's a mistake.
Whole lot.
Ah!
It's just common sense.
You gotta know where you put everything.
I don't know.
No, math.
Hey, yeah, math is
what
hard.
kind of
I
math
want to
though?
work on something. That just fucks me
There
up.
were physics in it.
Coding is easier than math.
No, no,
You're
it
just
depends on what kind of math.
There's a lot.
I mean, like coding,
Math.
printing
Coding
hello
is
world,
based
it's
on-
easy, but
No, coding, math can become part of coding, but coding itself is easier than math. Coding is as trivial as this. This is also coding. And math can be as simple as 2 plus 2 equals 4. That is also math.
Yeah,
But don't associate them together. It's logical thinking is what coding is, not math. Yes, you can apply math here, but it's logical thinking.
Coding was a lot of mathematics, right?
So the site.js getting invoked, do you understand what I mean by invocation of site.js through index.html? No? Better know somewhere. Can you tell me where the main.css is getting invoked? Give me a line number.
17.
13. And the invocation basically tells the browser window to color itself pink and use the font that we told you. Right? So now can I ask you to use a font called Montserrat?
no.
I want to. Now show it to me how we do it. So search for the word Montserrat. If you just type your name here, it doesn't work. So
On
open
your
a
font
browser
finder?
window. Open browser window. Search for this word Montserrat. Montserrat font. It's a Spanish name, and this font is available on Google, but it is not in your browser. So now what will you do? I want to see this font.
You
Grumpy
get the
Wizard.
hexadecimal code and write down.
No, show it to me.
Get him, Arjun.
Show me how to put this font on the page as opposed to Times New Roman or Arial or whatever you have, those limited choices. I want to choose a custom font for my look and feel of the website I have, so I want to use this font. Now what?
Oh, I'm getting there.
Wouldn't you reference this?
Go straight where I left you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just go then. I made a mistake, so I can't even correct it.
See what he's doing, and that's exactly how it is done. You should, yeah, search it. See, if you don't know, this is how you begin and find out. In a sense, what you will do is find a reference to that link of the font itself, put it in your main.css, and then use it. It actually applies to any font, not just that font.
Yeah, it was just, yeah. I'm like, applying
So say
custom
Google
font.
font CSS reference. That's a good search.
Plugins, and just letting you guys know, Stack Overflow is your friend.
Yes,
Stack Overflow is your friend.
it's the name of our website, by the way, stackoverflow.com. You can
They banned me once. I put the homework question in there.
They banned you?
Yeah.
Put a what?
My homework assignment.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That's kind of awesome.
It is awesome. They should ban.
You got a free shirt.
Tagline is
Did you get it? You got a free shirt? I put it. I didn't get it. Just came up? No, it was from last week.
That's the exact answer.
This, right? Well, so you would just go cool, underscore font, and then source URL of this? Or, like literally, this is your,
Yeah, this is how you would add into the CSS file, but read carefully and explain to everybody what is this.
I'm pretty sure this is your, where you're going to download the font at and where you're
That's
going to
right.
reference
So
it at.
go get a link from Google. So you have to use these elements of code So go to Google Font, get a link from TTF file, and scroll down. There's the use button.
The what?
Use.
Use? Oh.
Scroll down. There is
Yeah.
a link.
Got it.
Add this code to your website.
Would you use that in your HTML though, right? Or
CSS.
in your CSS?
Hold on. They'll tell you exactly where it goes. So go back to Google Fonts. Read this. It's step by step. They give you exactly how to use it. Add this code to your. So it's a link reference goes in the head, and then integrate into CSS. That's it. Two-step process. So that link will go into index.html. This one, then this goes into CSS, and you're done.
Yeah.
So Google gives a lot of different fonts for free usage, without royalty, open source. This happens to be one of the fonts that I use and I like, so I brought in as a reference. And I use it exactly what the Google site says. You put in a reference to the font itself in your index.html and use it in CSS, and you're done. And so what he's doing is adding the font family Montserrat, and
Oh.
you're opening a wrong page. You're opening a wrong.
Oh yeah, there's a Python one. Ah, that's fine.
You're still running something else.
So
So close out on a bunch of windows,
Arial.
bunch of unnecessary windows. You close out all that. Stick to only HTML project. Remove your Pythons.
You have to change the one on the top. It says area or no?
Index.
Body font family also change.
Yeah, the area
on
on
top.
top of it. Line 2.
Mine too.
And show us the line where you added your reference.
So references right here
In index you added a link reference
on the head, right? You put
in
it
the head. Yes, except that it should be above the main CSS.
Okay.
So the
Oh, because the CSS, yeah, your main CSS will be called first.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Now you save it, and then you go to your site main.css. Check it.
I gotta run it first. It's not running anymore.
You got it. The font came in. It's pink colored, and the body is RP6 is black colored, but the font is correct. Right?
Yes.
Compare this font with what Google says the font is, and you can verify it is true or not. Go back to Google's font and see the sample and compare notes. Back it up. Back it up. And this is how the font looks like in Montserrat.
Oh, okay.
See, the Grumpy Wizard is the font. Hello World is also the same font. Does it look the same to you? I think so. Yeah. So we were able to get arbitrary pieces of things on the internet into our site by referencing it. We were able to get a free font from Google into our page, but doing two things. We added a reference to what Google. We added a reference to what Google says that you should. So it shows the Google link where it shows the link on that page. There, this. So yeah, line number 14 here shows a reference. 13 shows a reference to get my font from Google's site. That's what line 13 is. And so it knows where to get the font from. Okay, I got it. I know where to get it from. And in CSS, in two places, main.css, we actually use this custom font. So we'll go to main.css and use it in two different locations. One is line number 2 and one is line number 7. In these two locations we are using the same font. And you can change the H1 color to something like black to make it very, very apparent. The Google search came up with the font itself and instructions on how to use the font in your pages. So if you search the word Montserrat, the name of the font is Montserrat, as you probably already have heard me saying now. You search that font on Google, it happens to be an open source font which anybody can use, and Google is providing it as a service to everybody. So we just take that link reference, put that in our index page, index HTML page, and go back to our main CSS file and change our styling, change our font usage, remove the Arial reference, remove Times New Roman reference, put in Montserrat reference, and we got it. It is not complex. Trust me, coding is not complex. Becoming an expert developer and coder is complex. Like speaking is not complex. Being a great speaker is very difficult.
Go back to
Takes years and years of practice.
main CSS. Oh, it's not capitalized sensor.
No.
He just copied
Isn't this
it.
your
He
secondary
copied
though?
it straight from
You don't
the-
even need this.
You don't need it, you can strike it off.
Yeah, you can.
It's a
You,
backup. It's a
yeah.
backup.
So if you guys know anything about CSS, if this isn't available, then this is the next font that you'll use.
If Montserrat, if Google is down, you still want
you
to have
probably
your site running, the second font is a backup font.
Oh,
If it cannot find the first font that you think Google is going to give you, when Google dies, this is a backup
Can you go
plan.
back to index?
And you see line number 13, index reference is coming from some google.com website, font.google.com. They're giving us fonts for free. Take it. I took it. Cloud Genius site is all full Montserrat. End to end. And yes, I have this line somewhere in my index HTML. I don't know where, but it's there.
Gotta be by the head, right? It's gonna be by the head area.
And we have to change site.js too, right?
No.
No?
No. Site.js is just adjusting look and feel. Look and feel is coming from CSS. Site.js is actually rendering some code that you have, and in that code portion you have this from RB6 or from your mom or whatever you have from.
Your
It says from your mom. That's
great, your mom's over there. No, that's great.
It's American.
Burke.
It's not like
So
you paste it.
fun.
Have you seen Code Academy? Have you seen Code Academy?
If anybody wants to learn to be a web developer, this site right here is a free and open source program. They'll teach you how to become a web developer, like straight up based off of a coding boot camp. Like every single thing, I'm pretty sure you'll make a Reddit like website if you want, and they'll teach you all of it.
They do
FYI.
Ruby Rails and GitHub and all that stuff as well. They do front end and back end. That was too possible.
I think I already did. I already posted this in
Do
Classroom,
it
right?
again, man.
You did.
Man.
You signed up.
That's it again.
So let's change topic from HTML, CSS, JavaScript. By the way, these three technologies together constitute what you see in the browser. There is nothing on the back side that is running there, runtime. So most websites and things you see in a browser window have something from the back end orchestrating that you see. The magic sometimes happens on the back side. What you see on the front side is purely these three things: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and sometimes Flash, sometimes some Silverlight, some other ugliness, sometimes Java. But all of these things are going away. These three things are sticking: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and that's what you see in your browser on every site. Every as in 100%, every single site. You will see it. Do you know how to see this HTML, CSS, JavaScript code on this site, the Classroom site?
Page source.
Right-click source.
Right-click View Source, F12. And here is what you see in all its ugliness, the HTML page.
It's not neatly organized.
It is very nicely, neatly, uglily done.
It's because you
And I'm
have to
happy
save
about-
space.
I'm happy about this ugliness because there is an Uglifier program that Google is using to run this to make it faster. So there's actually an Uglifier, search it. Uglifier code that runs to make it compact and small to render it faster.
Because the reasoning for that is like if you have an extra space, that's an extra byte.
So the uglifier is,
Yep.
it just makes it more efficient.
It just
Uglifier,
grabs it
minifier. And so these three elements run in the browser. They are also called client-side code. Client side, your side, as opposed to the server who is serving you, who is painting something on your browser. It's literally called painting on the browser. Painting a window. So you basically paint from the remote end. You paint an experience on the user's browser. You see what I'm saying? Painting an experience on the user's browser. Do you understand that part? So Facebook is painting a user experience on your browser, and you see what you see is actually HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And sometimes if you play those farming games, then it is Flash.
Also the chat, right?
Yeah, chat is probably not Flash anymore.
Growing those carrots are intense.
So the other code that runs in the background is not HTML, CSS, JavaScript. By the way, these three things come from the server. They get delivered to you in your browser, and you see what you see. But then that's it. There is nothing else after the fact happening to you once it is rendered. Now comes the other types of code that we have here, which is in the other folders below HTML, CSS, sorry, in that. Below HTML, there is another folder called Node.js. And so I suggest closing out all the other tabs, stopping the process, and focusing on the Node.js project right now. And the idea behind Node.js, let me tell you what this thing is before we jump into it. It is the simplest program you can write. I mean, literally the simplest that you have here. Only like 4 lines, actually 3 or 4 lines. That's it. This is the entirety of a server code. And all it does is says hello world. Now here what Node.js is first. The browser he's using right now is Google Chrome. This browser has a component, this by the way is an open source project. Google Chrome is an open source project called chromium.org. Google has taken that project, put its logo on top and calls it Google Chrome. But actually the underlying technology is called Chromium browser. It's available for download separately from chromium.org. It looks exactly like this except the Google colors. That is the original source. Now as a part of this browser, they have a rendering engine to show things in the right place, whatever you see here. That engine is called V8. So if you search V8
That was really cool.
on Google, the first thing you will find is a reference to the engine, the motor engine,
Like V8.
V8. And the second thing you will find is the V8 rendering engine. The second link, what are you using? Bing? Change it.
I need points, man.
Look
I
how
need
many
points.
points he has though. He's got over 2,000.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, use it then.
What the hell does that mean? Points.
It means
You can get free stuff off it, dude.
That's how
Applebee's.
desperate Bing is to get.
Yes.
The second thing is
Right here, right?
V8 JavaScript
Because it
engine.
looked so bad after people found out
Yeah,
that Bing was googling, using Google to Google.
It is Google.
I have purchased an iPhone with Bing points.
It's fine.
Wow.
Oh, I'm dead. My battery's dead, so somebody else got a challenge in.
Yeah, we'll use this.
Well, I can move it to your back.
So I was outside a minute ago and it smelled wonderful, so I propose that we finish the rest of this class inside of Black Angus Steakhouse.
I agree.
Do I have any takers?
Yep.
Like now or another day or?
I'm saying now, but it was more of a joke than anything.
What's that joke?
But unless
They have
chicken.
You can't have.
they have chicken and turkey.
Yes.
And they have really good steak.
Yeah.
So
Black Angus chicken.
Where is C9?
Delicious. Juicy. Oh my gosh, I want to steak now. Really bad.
It smells so
Where are we
good.
going? You wanna go afterwards?
It's closed.
You know what?
They don't close at 8:30.
Hey, if the commander in chief says it's closed, it's closed. I had to do a double take real quick. Randy wasn't even paying attention.
So as you know, first link V8 Juice, second link V8 JavaScript engine,
You're sleeping with them.
and third link is V8 engine.
No, I said if the commander in chief says.
The second link is what is relevant here. This is the engine that is used in Chromium browser.
Commander in chief.
And using that engine makes JavaScript run. Makes site.js run. When I was saying, invoke site.js, it is running site.js. So this V8 engine actually runs site.js. It is the JavaScript engine. So you see this Chromium browser, see what it looks like. Looking for Google Chrome, download a Google Chrome here. But Chromium is a separate project and it looks somewhat different. It functions exactly the same way and it runs on all your machines. Windows, Mac, whatever. Chrome OS, which is the Chrome desktop, Chrome box, comes from this OS. This is the source code. Chrome,
wow.
You can actually
Chromebox, Chromebook OS comes from here.
Chromium on whatever computer you created.
Yes. Chromium, but not Google Chrome. So the Google is a business. These are open source projects.
Right. You're trying.
You can do whatever you want. You cannot put cannot put Chromebox binary on whatever you want, but you can put this.
Which is the same thing.
I never heard of this OS.
Almost.
Huh?
I never heard of this OS.
You never heard of this OS? So the OS is what I use to do Google Hangouts. In a separate box, you may have seen me carry with me. That box is running this OS, and it is a open source Linux derivative. It runs on Chromebooks and
So Chrome.
typing
that-
mistake.
That is Chromium OS is what is on Chromebooks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
They call it Google Chrome OS, but it's
Yeah.
the same thing. Yeah, so this is what a Chromebook looks like. You can buy a new Chromebook for $130 and it gives you everything you need to run anything with Google, including Hangouts. But nothing else. I mean, you can do nothing with it. It's like, it's not a PC. It is what this is. This is a Chrome browser window and you can do everything you want in that window and that's it. And you can get this for 150, 130 on Craigslist, even less than 99.
It doesn't even have a fan.
It doesn't need a fan.
It doesn't need a fan. It's great.
And
So it's just a browser.
but it's a full functional computer, not a PC, not Windows, not Mac, but this. And so you have Chromebox, which is what I have, and you can use it to run meetings.
How much is a Chromebox?
$999. $999.
$9.99.
$999 plus tax. So that's what this Chromebox is. It's the camera, you may have seen my camera on top. This is the camera, and a speaker phone I put sometimes. So the camera can pick up sound from a distance. It's a meeting room setting. It's full price.
But wait, you found out.
And this is a high-end Core i7 machine. It's a very small box, 16 GB RAM, a 16 GB hard disk, tiny hard disk. But who cares? You got unlimited storage on the back side,
Once you're connected.
right? So it's expected to be connected all the time. And this model of operation, like this guy was saying, is in fact, I was at a store buying this box and I asked them this question: how much of cloud cache do you have in the box? And the guy looks at me funny. What did you just ask me? What I was really asking him is, how much hard disk do you have? And I called it cloud cache because it is caching my Google Drive unlimited storage onto this hard disk. It's only 16 GB, but I don't need any bigger. So it's cheaper that way. I mean, still this one is not cheap. There are some other functions that I'm not describing right now that it does. But
I wish there was a cheap Linux book.
there is.
Like $200 Linux books.
You can hack this Chromebook and run Linux through this project called Crouton. 130.
What on?
It's coming up.
Groupon?
No.
Groupon?
Sorry.
Yeah, you can run Linux
Groupon.
just like that on $120 box using this. Read what this is. It says Chromium OS Universal chroot environment. And this is what you download on the Chrome box, this link, and execute. And then you're done. It runs Linux after that. Chrome goes away, kind of, sort of.
Uh-huh.
And you take Ubuntu over. Ubuntu comes over and it runs fine. So, what is Crouton?
It's the Chromium
OS.
It's a jailbreak, essentially. It's a
Uh-huh.
jailbreak.
Jail.
Now you get it, right? It's a jailbreak for Chromebook. It's open source. The jailbreak itself is open source on GitHub. So these projects have a JavaScript engine that runs the site.js. Got it?
Good.
When somebody invokes site.js, this V8 engine comes in and runs it. Engines like V8 in Chrome browser, there is a, what's this called? What's a wheel called in Hindi? Chakra. Chakra engine in IE. Chakra is the name, it's wheel. So Chakra engine in Internet Explorer, it runs JavaScript in that. Mozilla has Mosaic. Firefox has some other engine. So every browser has an engine to run JavaScript. This is one of the most efficient engines you have. And as a consequence, this company called Joyent created an open source project called Node.js. Which is also open source. And that's the project. And that is what people are talking about these days as the technology to run code in the cloud. The technology.
Node.js.
Top notch. And it is open source again using Chromium V8 engine, but this engine is used on the back side, not in the browser side. And so this is the guy who, not this guy, some other guy, not this guy, but this is the project from this company Joyent, and Amazon has support, Microsoft has support, Google has support, everybody supports them. And you can make Node.js applications work on the back side of the cloud and show you an experience in the front in the browser window. And all of the programming happens in what language? JavaScript. Both on the front side as well as on the back. That's the beauty. Is you don't want to learn multiple languages.
That's true.
Learn
You just
JavaScript.
learn one language. And which is the most ugliest language you can get to learn? Is JavaScript. It's the ugliest language. It is so bad that some of the best authors on JavaScript have written a book called JavaScript, The Good Parts. And it is the best book on JavaScript. Because everything else is ugly. And that's a very thin book. That was a joke. You get the joke?
Yeah,
Yeah, the good parts.
that was a thin book, because the good part they have to.
Yeah.
No,
Now you get the joke. Okay. Okay, good. So yeah, it was actually a good joke. The joke being, what it means is it's very easy to learn if you focus on just the good parts. It's a small book. Focus on the good parts, you can get it. Not that difficult. And once you know that language, you can write the code on JavaScript side on the front end as well as the same language on the back end and orchestrate the whole game, back and front. We'll do that part next. Note. So open that folder and read. What do you have? One file. That file runs on the back side.
Server not me.
One file. That's it. Let's make it bigger.
Oh, an error.
So let's read it. It's only a few lines. Let's read it. Reference the HTTP module so we can create a web server. That's first operative line is line number 2. What that line is doing is what line number 1 says, which is reference the HTTP module so we can create a web server. So that's what line number 2 is doing, is referencing some module called HTTP server by requiring it. Require HTTP. That's one declaration. This is part of JavaScript code. Next line, 4, describes in English language, slash means comment. Slash anything after that is comment. So read that in English. It describes what that thing is. Line number 4 is commentary. Slash, create a server. This is for us, people. Next line number 5 is for machine. Line number 6 is for people. Slash. On every request, we will output hello world. That's the human readable part. The machine readable part is response.end hello world from Cloud Genius. And then closure and listen to process env port number and IP address at end of the code.
Or for 8, are you picking a port or are you using static IP? I'm trying to understand.
This is dynamically generated port and IP.
Okay.
And so the Node.js server will decide what to do. You just assign it. And now there are notes at the bottom. Line number 10 says, when spawning a server on Cloud9 IDE, listen to the process.env.port and process.env.ip environment variables. That's where you set these variables. And click the run button at the at the top to start your server, and click that URL that is emitted in the output of the tab. So I'm going to say run. And what Node is doing is running it. Running what? Running the server.js. That's what I clicked run on. So it is running. And now what did it say? Let's read. It told us something. I don't know what it said. But I'm going to make this font smaller so I can see.
Mine's throwing an error.
Saying error, yeah.
I cannot see what's going on. Unhandled error event. Where do you see address in use?
Error listen. Key address in use.
Okay, break it.
It's broken.
Broken already.
Maybe since we're all on the same network connection.
Probably not.
Something wrong.
Yeah, everybody's
Some IP
from the
address.
same era too.
Oh yeah, it's not drawing anything for the URL.
What's up?
We put in the URL.
Yeah, it'll open the tree.
The index one.
We decided that we can find it.
Mm-hmm.
You good?
I did the first
Module?
first lesson, yeah.
First module. Learn it, you know it.
Learning it. I did it a week ago. I read up a little bit more this week. Like on the second module.
It's a great. It's a
I
great.
like
part
the
of-
Viking Code School idea though.
There's one in Seattle actually. It's called Coding Dojo or Code Fellows. Code Fellows guarantees you a 60K job upon graduation, or else your tuition's back.
What? Code It's a 12-week program still?
It's a Codefellows is a full-time program
Yep.
for 8 weeks, and they charge 10,000, and if you
Yeah.
don't get a job, they pay you back.
I saw that.
I was almost about to do that if I didn't find like a job. I was like, yeah.
They pay 10,000 back?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I wonder if
No, I
You
think
pay
they
Jackal for it though too, huh?
No,
they're,
probably not.
they're not eligible
No.
yet.
Not yet, I guess.
They're like
Those people like.
They're like in lunch.
They're like me. In fact, she's my friend, Kristen
Oh,
Smith.
really?
Wow.
Oh.
She's from Michigan, University of Michigan, same school.
Wolverine?
Wolverine.
It's this close to signing up to. This
In
close.
fact, my program used to run in Code Fellows while ago in their campus. But then I found another place to do it, so I'm doing it on my own. And then I found this in Chicago and lots of other things. So
And are you?
Is it a broad-based coding school or
that
is
is
it
focused JavaScript only.
JavaScript only?
No,
Yeah,
they do
or Rails
Blue
only, or iOS only, so it's focused. One thing.
You choose.
Yeah, you choose 10,000 per language. And 10,000 for 2 months. Full time. You live there basically.
It's pretty legit though. Like if you really are really that into code.
Yep.
You will learn.
What are the
I'm
Eat and breathe.
I'm starting intensive on Chef. So if you want to learn Chef deeper, I will do very similar, but my technologies are different. Not JavaScript or not Rails. I don't go in language coding, but in cloud coding. So
DevOps.
Huh?
DevOps.
DevOps, yes, and Hadoop
I want to
and
get more
Chef.
into that.
The DevOps, Hadoop, Chef, OpenStack. That's where I'm heading next year, starting next year.
I don't know what I did there, but felt like.
What's it called? Cloud Dojo?
There's Coding Dojo, Code Fellows.
Coding Dojo, Cloud Genius, Code Academy, Cloud Academy. God knows, everybody has their own.
That's like the biggest thing now, like coding boot camps, because nobody
Yes.
wants to go to a four-year college anymore.
Exactly. You know why they don't want to go to four-year college?
Because you don't need a four-year college for it.
That's right. And one more thing, people don't want to get pushed. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. I studied it heavily. What do really people want? Why do people come to the class? What drives them in?
To learn what
To
they
get
want
out
to
of
work.
Huh? Yes, exactly. To get work, because it means
To get out of work.
So shaman is what you're saying.
Sham.
No, it's to learn what you want to learn,
Yeah.
not
Shaman,
what people will tell you have to learn.
Exactly.
So that's why I don't want to do colleges. I don't want to sit there and have to be taught something that I'm never going to use again.
Yeah.
They're really annoying.
Because these guys actually work with the companies that will hire you. So you literally are learning the technology that they're using.
And this Andy Sachs, who is the founder, is a billionaire, so he can afford to, you know, get a big building and like host people and all that. So he's like a large team there.
Is that your goal?
No, I have a different goal.
Conquer the world. One cloud computer at a time.
Dr. Cloud.
One cloud at a time.
Oh, Coding
Total cloud domination.
Coding Dojo offers $1,000 off their tuition for veterans.
Oh.
And then they're doing GI Bill.
Nice.
Yeah, you should
Oh,
offer
yeah.
100% off by using GI Bill.
Yeah.
Sorry. Why offer
They don't get
$1,000?
veterans like that.
It's a very
$1,000? Who cares?
Yeah. I mean,
I care.
might as well pay 10.
If you're not paying,
It's sitting right there. If you can
if
see
you're not
it.
paying,
Yeah,
why do you
that's
care? Right? If the money is, it doesn't pinch you if money is not going out of your pocket. It pinches you if you are being pushed. If you're wasting time, that's when it pinches. So what I'm going to do is run this same code but in a different method. Directly in the laptop, see what happens. So I'm clearing it. See what I'm doing?
Yes.
Same code I'm taking from there, from this window, and putting that in a file. So I'll say,
Yes, master.
make a directory, I'll call it C9, go inside and touch a file, call it server.js, and then edit the file and paste the code and come out of it and then run it. And open up and it should be running. What port is that? Node port? 4000?
Classes.
9.
9. Horrible Bosses 2 opens tonight.
Does it?
There's a 9:30 showing right over here.
Such an awkward time.
Does it say?
Awkward day.
Yeah, normally it's on Friday.
What does it say?
Or Thursday.
Thursday night.
I didn't even see any commercials for that thing.
Hey,
There's a lot out there.
It says,
Hey,
"For what, dude?"
if you want to do Odin project, you want to do it together?
Just do it.
What are you doing? On an Odin project? Odin project, because it's better. It's honestly better to like code with somebody else rather than by yourself, because you just get stuck in the wall.
People,
I
yeah,
like that.
You need fresh eyes.
Do you wanna do it?
people can point out things
Let's
that
do
you
it.
missed.
Yeah.
You want to meet up or just kind of do it online?
We can do it online. We can do like some meetups.
Let's do that.
Honestly, dude, I'm all about
Good
it.
idea. Hello world from College Genius.
So what I'm doing is taking that code, put in a file and run it through Node. I modified the code a little bit. I'm not cheating. I'm telling you what I've modified. It doesn't run in my context, in my Node, in this laptop. I'm running it locally, not in C9, but it runs. There's something else wrong going on that side, in this location. Something else is going on. I don't know what. But I took the same code, and I'm going to open it for you. What I did change was this line to listen on port number 3000. I called it by name, and then call node server.js. Run it, please. So it is running. You don't see anything here, but you go to the browser, open port localhost 3000, and you have it. Simple. Not much to it. All I'm saying is type this on port number 3000 on the localhost box.
And put the listen.
Yes, the listen is on the port. So listen for port number 3000. If somebody comes in, show them this. So I come in from a browser, go to port 3000, and it is listening for me on port 3000. So it says, hello. That's it. Now we'll investigate what's going on with C9IO by running it one more time.
Doesn't it just say port and then it says P?
And it says it is running on port number
I think it's
something error. Some error is going on. I'll investigate later.
This arrow to the port of IP.
The code doesn't say anything, it just says port. It doesn't have like an actual number in the code.
When you hard code it, can we see your code? Or did you hard code your actual?
Yeah, I hard coded my number, and so it seems to work. But I'll investigate that later. Here's how I hard coded it. So,
On your listens?
yeah. So line number 8 I changed by hand.
Some pretty colors.
Instead of saying process.env.port, comma, process.
Yeah, that I think you have to fill in some number somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll have to read. I'll read that
That makes sense.
later. You have Node installed on the virtual machine if you want to run it this way.
I have a quick question, Nilesh. On ours right here, like it has Bash, intermediate JavaScript, and then Node, and then whatever process you're running. So what is the intermediate JavaScript? Oh, it's from your console, from your browser.
Great time.
Another one?
This is what you're gonna teach on December 10th.
Yeah, good. You will teach on
New one.
not me.
I'm gonna confuse the living crap out of everybody.
So the HTML portion, I think, do you feel comfortable talking about it on that December 10th? Do you feel comfortable?
Yeah, if you're the one speaking for us.
It's not an issue.
I will
You
be
can
there.
explain like what this does.
Definitely very
It's
much.
not hard.
Are we doing the demo with them too, or is it?
Yeah, let them do it.
Okay.
It's about them using it.
code's
It's
already
about
there.
them
We don't have to
learning
write
the
it.
code.
Or we can
So let them do it. Bring their laptops and play with C9IO.
You put that on the,
like
put on that, on
7:30.
the announcement to bring laptop.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, the announcement is clear, I hope. The announcement is this. You may have seen the announcement, but the announcement is not that long. It's like two sentences. This is how it reads. Bring along a laptop computer. Bring your family and friends and bring along a laptop.
Hey, we might want to make sure that, because like when we were in Stone Ed, some people were getting kicked out off the Wi-Fi.
Who?
Because I was in Stone Ed for 4 months when I was doing MSSA. People were getting kicked out off the wireless router.
StoneNet, we are at Hawk. Is Hawk an issue?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't think they even
It's Sometimes,
Wi-Fi.
usually talk to the technician there. There's a new female there. She's running it.
Do you know somebody there?
I don't know her that well, but
Okay.
I could see.
Yeah, if you can, that would be awesome, because I'm asking, I hope there is no Wi-Fi issue, because lots of people have actually signed up. Let's see who signed up to come.
I didn't yet.
Well, that'd be embarrassing.
Eventbrite?
Yeah, Eventbrite.
This startup started with just 2 people. When I was when we were in Salesforce, they were talking about it, and they were like, it started in 2007, I think, and they were only like 2 people that started it, like husband and wife.
Coder Dojo.
Oh, that's an org though. Coder Dojo teaches kids to code,
That's awesome.
so you can volunteer time there too.
So here, hour of code at JBLM, how many tickets sold? 7. Who are coming? These people. Do you know them?
Oh yeah, Chris Jones. Him and I, fought Nam together.
So you have 2 people buy double tickets. These are ticket sales, by the way, $0. 2 people bought double tickets, and then this is the traffic we expect to see, at least.
Might have to get a hotspot.
I don't know. We'll find out something. We'll get that. The idea is to invite people, have them understand what coding is, get them excited about hour of code.
Yeah, but there's no way to get them excited if they can't get online.
There's no internet there for
I'm not
wireless.
I think Shelly told me that there is Wi-Fi.
It is Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you have to get the password phone though.
They'll give us the
So I'm
password.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to work there.
So I think we will probably not have enough time to go through the JavaScript portions and Ruby portions and Python portions. Just stick to HTML. That itself is a good win.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Winning.
Hello World is everybody's first.
Win?
Winning.
Win. Okay.
Win.
So let's change topic. If you want a break, now is a good time.
Alright, break time. And everyone just started walking down.
Because I want a break.
Okay, great.
You want
Everybody
to
go
break
to
the
Black
wall?
Angus. We're meeting up again at Black Angus.
Really?
You want to do that?
Hey.
But don't. We can just create a GitHub repository, or we can use the projects there.
Okay, just ruin everything.
Sounds good.
If you're doing that thing that you said,
Order project.
I will join.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Nice. I should have been right.
I'll create a
I was
new-
just getting confused with the camera. I mean, that was my plan.
Ah!
No, seriously, it's a great program. Another thing you should look at if you really want to consider like extra support. But trust me, all I did is research like all this kind of stuff. So there's something called T-Leaf for Canada. So there's coding school online, right? They're the cheapest one out there. Literally, the entire, I think 24-week program is only $2,000. They're all online, and here's the kicker. So
How much is the Odin? I thought the Odin project was free.
one ride is free.
No, not the Odin project. Michael Cold School.
One goes for 10 grand.
Oh.
Online, yeah. So this is what happens to T-Leaf for Canada, right? So it'll give you support. Like so there's actually a teaching assistant on call 24 hours a day. And here's the thing, like you literally there's like if you say like this program isn't for me, you can get your money back,
You ever get tired of this?
guaranteed, no questions asked. Like I talked to them about it and stuff.
What kind of employment opportunities do they have at
They don't have that. That's why they have the cheapest one. But you'll get like you'll recreate Netflix from scratch, like the entire Netflix architecture.
Dude.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Like I'm just waiting for this class to be over and I'll start doing that.
Yeah, I like it. It is, you can learn a lot.
So are you all of the other ones doing like employment programs at the end?
Enhance people's lives. It's
Coding
nice.
Dojo, they don't. They help you out as much as they can, right? I mean, there's all of them have career counseling.
And you're not
Not all of them
just
have career
work
counseling.
with slides all day.
But the thing is, from what I've seen so far, at least in this area, only Code Scholars is the one that guarantees like your money back and like they will. And this X amount of months, like I think it's 8 months or 6 months. If you won't find work over 60 grand, like that's the kicker too. If it's not over 60 grand, you can get your money back.
Ah, So if I get a 58 grand,
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I might just tell them to do that. Hey, I only want 58 grand for the first year.
It's honestly, I don't think it's worth it. Like,
Right now.
No, that's absolutely worth it.
if, hey, you 3 weeks of your time, like, yeah, that's literally experience, hardcore experience.
Well, you have to be there, stay there all 3 weeks.
No, you don't stay there. I mean, like, man, yeah, you got that's like pretty much your workplace, right? You drive there.
Yeah.
It'll be awesome.
Where's that place at?
Seattle.
Every day.
Seriously, dude, like.
That's serious.
That coding, the Odin project, like you'll learn so much about the internet in like first module.
Yeah,
Right off the
yeah,
bat.
I did right off the first module. Yeah.
Like
You're
you're,
making any interest in
like all the resources online. Like remember the first thing Alexis told us, like this program could literally be free because all the information is online.
You gotta listen to
You just gotta make it like which one's useful, which one isn't.
Yeah.
Odin project is that.
Granted, I didn't get to finish
Same
it.
thing.
Yeah.
We should make an open source cloud computing thing and we can run this competition for free. JK, don't tell them that.
So what's wrong with
So I'm telling
you?
you.
You copied all your
Let's
files.
charge half the price.
That's what the concept
We
behind it.
better donuts. How's your
Lazy
work research?
And you live in
boy.
You're getting some.
It's about 30 minutes south of Cal.
Which one?
South Bend, that's 2 hours east.
It's not.
Do you know where
You're not meeting employers that I want to work with.
Oh, it's more about like.
It's more about state, and I'm like, I'm okay. I mean, I can go talk to you guys and see if say it's something I want to do, but I'm looking at Barantis, I'm looking at open
Costco
freaking
and Best Buy.
space or whatever. I'm looking at Redapt. I'm looking
That's
at
where you work.
the
Yeah, Shea Homes,
few different.
Jubilee
Like
Home Center.
I got like 5 or 6 that I'm looking
It's
at.
like on
And
Marvin,
Going
just
more than that, dude.
Costco.
What's that?
Should be looking for more.
Down.
Has
Martin.
Winco?
Maybe. I don't know, man.
No, not Martin, maybe Martin.
Break your own
Okay.
side.
So
And
Martin
fail.
goes this way, and Martin goes
And
the
learn
other
from
way.
it.
Okay.
So what?
It's Martin over
And
there.
fail and learn from it.
What did you
In
say?
high school.
To what?
High
Do
school.
your own
There is,
startup.
Yeah,
Why not?
Thought about it.
yeah.
Heard of Techstars?
For like 3
What's
years.
Techstars?
Yeah.
So they literally finance your.
Yeah.
They'll, like if you get a good business plan, right?
Yeah.
It's growing.
And you actually go to them and they'll
It's so much
they'll
cheaper
finance you
than
$100,000 for your business.
So yeah.
For
Yeah.
10% like your
Yeah.
10% shares. of
Apartment
your
is like
business.
this, as soon as you come here, the price goes
So-
up.
Yeah.
But your shares
They'll
are
mentor you.
smaller.
Like the mentors are like CEOs, Zillow, and stuff like that. And they will
The
literally
place
teach
that
you.
I'm living right now, you don't even have.
I'm not thinking about that, like, but just my mom.
Closets or
Yeah.
anything?
No, it didn't have the storage like
Oh,
outside,
okay.
small, even small, like.
What?
You can like.
Yeah.
Stole your chair.
put on it.
It's
We'll have class at Old Country Buffet next week.
It's just like 600 square feet. I'm used to
Where
it.
is that?
Or memos. We'll go to memos. I don't think there's enough seats. for memos.
Yeah,
We can get memos here.
just in there.
Ah, no, sorry, somebody is upset that we ate here. So we should not be eating
Ate
here.
what?
Ate whatever.
Donuts?
Donuts, yeah.
Inside the room?
Yes.
Yeah,
We can eat
somebody-
donuts in here, but that's it.
Yeah, we no cannot eat. We have to go outside, just outside this building and eat.
Wait, outside, not
outside.
room,
No, not this.
building?
No,
We can go in the
building.
kitchen.
I don't. Maybe I misunderstood.
We can eat just outside the room.
Not-
They probably just don't want it in the computer lab.
Computer
Yeah,
lab.
you're not allowed to eat in the computer lab. You can eat in the kitchen.
Was it Everett?
I don't
Because in
know.
computer lab, you know, they usually don't want.
Yeah, we
Any
created
foods?
a little.
I don't,
Yeah,
I
we
don't know if you
created a
guys
little
went to
mess.
that thing, like when I was in my 8th grade, the first time our school brought the computer, we had to take off our shoes to go to the
Yes,
computer lab.
that's Nepal. It's different. Yeah, the shoes has a different connotation. In this country, you can see people taking their shoes and putting them on the sofa.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not acceptable in India.
Mhm.
Like not at all.
Oh, while you're wearing
Take your shoes
them.
outside.
Yeah, whether
Yeah.
wearing or
Like you're
whatever.
putting your feet on the sofa.
Putting on the sofa is just no.
Yeah.
In India, Nepal, and it's just not appropriate. And people do that comfortably here. I mean, there's nothing wrong. It's not a sign of disrespect, but it's considered dirty. And I think it is rightfully considered dirty. Because you use the same shoes to go to the bathroom. You just walk back in and you put your shoe on the sofa. and your child will crawl on the same sofa. You know, so what's going on?
Yeah.
Is your child is crawling in the bathroom.
Totally.
That's what's wrong. I think that's the only thing I don't like about this country. I don't know why.
Couches.
Yeah, it's, I don't know why people don't
Putting
get
your
it.
feet on things that
People don't get it. People don't understand it.
No, I think it does make sense. I think it's kind of, that was probably, I still see some people who kind of feel that way, like you just don't put your feet on certain things,
Right.
like coffee tables. That's a big one in the army, like, get your feet off the table. They scream at you.
Hey, Lance, I got a good question for you. Why have you ever considered like doing a video for Pluralsight at all?
Yes, I did, and I said no to them.
They didn't pay that high, did they?
No, I would rather do
Yep.
anything with my name, with my
Yep.
my business, my company, and I will create videos and I do it right on this site. It's coming. As soon as I find time, I will do it.
Do we get access to that? I mean, because I saw on your website it says like as long as you're a member of the Cloud Genius, you still get new access.
So I don't know the answer. What should I say is the right way to say it? I don't know how to respond to you right now,
Get you with the right answer.
but I'll find out the right answer.
What were you trying
Sounds
to
like an interview answer right there.
What?
Pluralsight.
I don't have the answer right now.
So there are companies that
yeah.
provide you learning educational videos, online training through their site. I would rather provide my services through my site. If I go through plural site
site, yeah.
or whatever site,
Yeah.
it is sharecropping.
Yep.
Sharecropping.
You can't make money sharecropping.
I'm surprised that nobody ever approached you for like from Pluralsight.
I did. They did. They have a request from me. They have a Dropbox. Put your video here, and I said no.
Okay.
No. Udemy. All these people, they have approached me, and I'm not doing it. Not doing it. No. I'll do it only for my own name. Nobody else. Nobody else. That's not how it works.
Have you used
If I'm
Pluralsight
good-
though before?
I've seen it.
You have some pretty decent.
Yeah, I have people that have their videos there. I know them. They're good. There are many such places.
Yep.
But my approach is different. Everybody's approach is different. So we'll see how it works out. So will you have access to that is a question I have to answer eventually. In fact, I will be changing the library site dramatically.
Gonna make it more user friendly.
Make it useful. Forget about friendly. Make it useful. It is not useful right now. You have to search for it, and then it becomes visible. It is not properly structured right now. So I will do that part December, January. When the next class starts.
But we still have access to the library.
In the interim, I'll break access, by the way. I'll have to break it. I'll come back. It'll come back. It'll come back. I'll disturb the whole setup.
You're banned from that too. You're banned from that.
Unless you want to feel special and pay.
Remember that support that pictures that are like what happened on the support. That's what's gonna happen. Remember all those pictures? The roller coaster?
Yeah.
Kidding, no. No, remember this SDLC
How the
pictures?
customer wants it.
Right.
How it was explained to the customer, how it was
swing
support, and
and
there was like
the-
no support.
It's the old style now. It's the style.
Blank.
All packs. You know, all packs, right? So the guy with British guy.
What's gonna be our next topic, Saul, in the next 2 days?
I have lots of things to cover. If you are ready,
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
No, let those guys on that.
Then today we British Got Talent and got popular overnight.
So what's your like mission?
I have a
the mission is to make other people happy
Through
through my stuff. Whatever I do, I do training and consulting.
First impression.
That is my mission.
So I read Mark Zuckerberg's story, and he said that a lot of big companies offer him money at first, but then he stayed true to his mission when he was first starting out with Facebook or whatever, until it got big. They really do. You just gotta stay focused on the mission.
Yep. And I think I'm clear on what I want. And I think I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of time and effort, but I'm doing it. Seems to work. So if you remember, recall Saturday what were we doing?
Talking about AWS.
Yes. The reason we picked up AWS as an example is to go through item by item. There are lots of new services coming up. Have you seen some of that? Have you understood some of that?
Like when I was watching you in the Lambda thing, I think I actually asked a question, but
About Lambda?
yeah, and then what do you call this? I just typed it, I didn't say it, and then you just never answered. So I was like, yeah, whatever.
What was the question?
I forgot. I think you remember when you were like, I think he can't see it because like you just
because he was presenting, so.
yeah.
Yeah. So here's what I want to show you is what this service is called, new service coming up called Lambda. And I'm going to console.aws.amazon.com.
What is it?
Coming up.
Lambda?
Lambda.
Oh, the new Amazon.
So Amazon is probably the best example for a variety of services, and I want you to make sure that you understand each one of them. That's the thing we tried to cover this Saturday, but since we have only 5 people Saturday, I don't know what
Should brought donuts.
It was my birthday Saturday.
donuts on Saturday.
Yeah, just feed it through the.
Yeah, it was actually a really helpful session that Saturday was.
Saturday was
A lot
helpful.
of stuff. I mean,
Yeah, so I want to repeat
Yeah.
part of it. Part of it. You know already. You know this EC2 already, like left and right by now. Do you?
Yeah, left is E and right is 2. And then is C.
Yes. And that C is called cloud, right? So the number 2 is actually CC, ECC, right? Elastic Compute Cloud. You got that part. I'm not going there right now. I'm going to the second one, Lambda. Read this line. Run code in response to events.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
ITTT. No. Do this and then that. What is that?
If
If you do this,
if-
then that. ITTT.
Yeah.
Right?
IFTTT.
If this, then that.
Yeah. If you do this, then that.
So the way to think about that Lambda is like this. It is called if this, then that.
A little bit of this.
A little bit of this and a little bit of that. So if I pick up the phone, then I can hear and I can talk. If I click the record button on the camera, then it will record. If this, then that. If I want to go home from now because the class is over, but it is cold outside, so I want to have the car warmed up,
Oh yeah, you showed that. That was cool.
Yeah.
right?
That was awesome.
Holy crap.
And so if
On his car.
if this, meaning if this condition is true, then I can actually control my car and start heating it up. And this becomes automated like 10 minutes ahead of me leaving. So at 8:20, 8:30 then I leave. So at 8:20, it will start heating it up. And it's starting up, heating. And I can set the temperature I want. And all of that programmatically,
Makes my car feel like.
right? If I want to honk,
You have to open the door, bro.
What's in the door, Daniel?
double doors.
Now you're just showing off.
Yeah.
And so what is going on is that these are internet connected things, right?
Recipes.
Yeah, well, I could do that too if there
Yes,
was a lot
yes,
of
yes, yes, yes.
It's pretty much they converted the remote control to app, right?
I can
Louder!
Yeah. It's
Except think of these the concept that I'm going to describe is called the Internet of Things. And thing here is this thing, that thing, this thing are well known, right? The phone, the laptop, the PCs, they're well known. They were connected to the internet, and that's what internet was to begin with. Even today, most of it. But internet is evolving into an internet of things. Not just computers, but things. And that, so give me an example of a thing.
Nest.
Yes, another example of a thing.
water.
Huh?
The water tap, like,
A smart thing, I should qualify. A smart thing.
Your car.
Yeah, a smart bulb, a Wi-Fi controlled bulb, right?
Yeah,
As soon as you-
LED ones from Philips.
Yes.
Wireless power, I think it is.
Wireless power, I don't want to go there. It'll burn if you are in the way. Wireless power will transmit over electromagnetic waves, and if it is real power, it will burn you. It's like microwave radiation. So I don't want wireless power, at least not me. So Internet of Things, what are these smart things I would like to have, or that we have?
Tesla.
Tesla, internet connected, already it's connected directly through 3G and on the internet. It's an object on the internet, it's a thing on the internet. So we can now program these things, something like this, IFTTT. If it is time for me to go home, and if it is cold outside, then 10 minutes before the time to go, start heating the car. If this, then that. So if I take a new picture, email it to me. If this, then that.
Oh, yeah. Just like our photo album connected to the cloud, like
Yeah.
automatic backup, is that considered too?
Right? And so there is a full channel available where you can browse public recipes. There are lots of recipes available. Like for example here, order prints of your Instagram photos tagged with hashtag PrintHug. Or don't forget the emails you star in Gmail, set a reminder 8 o'clock. So just by the fact that you star an email in Gmail, it will next day morning remind you. If you use this recipe, if this, then that. And that is what if this, then that does. And this is the idea, the way to think about Lambda. Where you don't have to worry about starting a machine in EC2, but you put your code in a specific location inside Lambda, almost like a box in S3, in a container in S3, a bucket in S3. You put the code in that box, and if something happens, then the code will run.
This is preview, so is it not?
Yeah, I don't have access to it. It's coming.
Like on the Lambda though, like how
I did.
how complete of a code would you have to put inside there?
Functional. Doesn't have to be long.
Yeah, like if somebody access your site or like hits your IP, you would
Yeah.
this code would pop up. Oh wow.
Yeah. Any event happen. Anything that can happen, time based, user based, logs in a database, somebody visiting your site, somebody pinging some other machine, some machine pinging another machine, people visiting some services, people walking into your home, or people receiving phone calls, you receiving a text message. Any of these things can become an event. As long as you have a method of making that event reach this service, then in response to the event, something else will get executed. Right? Without having to worry about machine configuration and putting machines, starting it up, putting code and then running it. Without having to worry about those aspects, you can just say if this, then that. Meaning, you run code in response to events. The blue line, the blue segment. That's what's coming. That was Lambda.
I feel like this would be more expensive though.
You know what? It probably will be cheaper given the way Amazon works.
Like pay by use instead of
Pay by use.
I don't know.
Yeah, Amazon is known to be able to find the lowest possible profits than any company can ever get and still survive. They are a public charity apparently. At least that's what this thing says.
No, it's just saying.
They are a charity. That was a joke.
Yeah,
But-
I'd like to see what Hashit has to say about that.
But look at this, their profitability. Earnings per share is negative 47 cents. It's a loss-making company right now. It has never made money exorbitantly. Usually they make $100 million every year, whereas Microsoft employees collectively donate more than 100 million every year.
But his CEO is the rich, one of
The
the.
CEO is big, but the company is known to operate in a way that does not want to make too much
Razor-thin
profit.
profits.
It's razor thin profits, that's how they want to operate, and they take pride in doing that. They want to drive anybody else out of the market
So they can dominate
eventually.
Like Walmart.
eventually. It's a long term. It's a large end game.
They're competitors. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the way to think about this is this aspect of long-term planning is, who was that talking about urgency versus importance? Do you know the difference?
Yeah. Urgency, you gotta do it now. Importance is that it
It has to be done regardless.
Right, but which one would you do first, urgent or important?
urgent.
Urgent.
Even if urgent is not important?
Oh.
No,
Throw a brain.
Yeah.
it's important.
So- Sorry. So the idea is to not do urgent, but to first focus on important. Because that is what is important. It's a different way of thinking, but I think it's rational. So don't worry about urgent stuff. How?
So kind of like delay
It depends on how you define urgent
That's
and
right,
importance.
that's right. And so urgency in itself doesn't have any meaning. If it is important, then do it first.
And that becomes urgent.
But if it is
Urgency by
not
importance.
important, consciously choose to not do it.
Slow, smooth.
It's kind of like delayed gratification.
Yes, it's hard. That's why most people jump on the urgent opportunity first, even though it may not be important, because it gets them immediately something which may not be useful.
They've pretty much
Plain Call of
monopolized the
Duty.
book market, and with their razor-thin profits, it's allowed them to capitalize and monopolize on the book market, and that's why they're pretty much just able to tell Hachette and the other big publishing companies, you know, it's our way or the highway. You know, we're gonna make you addicted to us and then control you after that. They're doing a lot of that.
So next bucket, S3. There is no machine, there are machines, there are servers and everything behind S3, but you don't have to worry about it. All you do is take a bucket, put an item in the bucket, and you're done. Literally. You saw me do that. I have a bucket called Cloud Genius in which I put a picture of you. And there is a bucket here called the Mighty Council bucket, not this. The Mighty Council bucket, and in that council I have this picture. That is your picture.
Delete it.
And so I'm going to select that and download.
Delete.
So I deleted it, right? So the picture is
That's
gone.
the one we viewed there.
So the picture is gone and this Mighty Council picture is now empty. The whole bucket is empty. So as simple as using that is very, very simple. Let's keep going. The S3 you used. Where will I use S3? When I want to put
Pictures and
objects in bucket. Objects. As opposed to specifically calling out pictures. Picture is an object, video is an object. The next thing here is storage gateway. Can somebody who was there Saturday define what this thing is?
Which one?
Storage gateway.
So that's not the cache.
Yes, it is cache. So the way to think about storage gateway is like this. So if you remember me saying in terms of
Hard drive, memory, like on the cloud drive, and the gateway is the one that.
storage is two types. If you think of it, one of them is SAN, one is NAS. Hold on. Are we on same Wi-Fi network? Which network are you?
Central Link.
Okay. 1327. Okay, hold on. What's your machine name?
Brimstone.
Spelling?
BRIM.
So here, you see what I'm doing? I'm just connecting from my machine and trying to access a file stored on his machine. I cannot, because he has protected himself with a password and username, so I cannot get there. Unless he walks in here and types a password, then I can see his whatever he has in the machine.
So you have no like algorithm thing to figure it out? Or?
No. There is no such thing.
Fuck you.
So what I just did was I typed something. Let's cancel. I typed in smb://brimstone. And when I do that, I'm actually accessing network attached storage, meaning his hard disk storage attached on the network, and I'm using it. Network attached, let me say it right. Network attached storage. That was an example of NAS. I'm connecting that box and accessing files from that box by typing something like this. If it is Windows, I'll type like this. If it is an Apple machine, what's your machine name?
Aaron's MVP. Aaron Sweats MVP.
Like this?
Yeah, sure. Great. It's actually Aaron Sweat.
And sweat? Like, you're sweating?
S-W-E-T-T.
No sweat. Like you're sweating?
No, that's not the right name. What is the name?
Aaron Sweat. Capital A, capital S. MVP, I believe.
Capital
Yes, I got it. No,
No.
no. No, but the idea is you can access a Mac machine like this and a Unix machine like this.
Hmm.
In a second, I'll tell you.
And this concept is called NAS.
Aaron's dash MVP.
It worked.
Did it,
Yeah,
yeah.
it still asks me for a password and I can enter like this.
He doesn't like it.
Now, when I go through this route, I do not get access to the entire hard disk, only the files that he is sharing. If I want to get to the actual entire hard disk, he has to expose the hard disk to me on the network. And that level of access is called block level access, also called
UAC.
SAN. Whereas this one was file level access. Once I have block level access, I have the whole thing, including file level.
Okay.
I get the whole hard disk.
Entire box.
The whole hard disk, not the box, just the hard disk.
Just the hard disk.
And so this is how these things are structured. So if you conceptually think S3 here, it is conceptually like NAS, but you cannot open a file and seek into the file, read halfway through and read the rest of the file. You cannot do like that. You either get the whole object and store it locally in your file system and use the picture or watch the video, or you put the object in the bucket or take the object from the bucket. It's a transaction. It's not a file system like you can open a picture in your hard drive. It's not like that, but you have to put an object, get an object, get and put exactly what it means in English. Same meaning, get an object from the bucket, put an object into the bucket. Is like reading and writing. Except it is not, because you're actually dealing with objects and you're not reading them, you're getting them. Once you get them here, you save it here and then you read it. Without that, you cannot read. You have to get it. The whole object has to arrive.
It can't be packets. It has
No,
to be the whole
no. So that's the difference in the concept. If you will put S3 here, and in the SAN equivalent, you will put elastic block storage here, and you will find that elastic block storage reference here in EC2. When you start a machine, it will say, "Do you want a hard disk?" That's where it comes and ask you that question. Launch an instance, and somewhere along the way, if I select a machine and select review and launch, and add storage, and that's where I get to add my spinning hard disk, rotating hard disk, magnetic hard disk, or a general purpose SSD, or a special purpose SSD. 3 types of disks I'm connecting, and that's the concept of elastic block storage. That is conceptually similar to a SAN, and that's what you will associate with EBS. Back to our console, you have this storage gateway. Essentially gives you a method of caching whatever you have in your premises. Let's read that. So click and read. On-premises virtual appliance that provides access between your on-premises applications and AWS storage infrastructure. So it's an intermediary between storage on the backside and your machines running here. So you have trusty virtual machine running here. There is a hard disk in there. You can cache it and preserve it in the Amazon cloud using this storage gateway. It becomes an example like that. Now comes Glacier. Who can describe Glacier to me? How would you?
Glacier, it's
Yes.
something that you don't want to access it, it's, just like S3 that you can access it right now, but Glacier is something you want to access it later.
Oh, like archive.
Like, it's,
Oh, you're if it's
Archiving.
readily available or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, on that page.
Right. If you have your army picture from 2007, 6, I don't know when you were there, but yeah, I'm assuming you're there. So you want to access them right now on your phone? Not necessarily. Do you want to delete them? No. So what do you want to do with them? Preserve them, keep them durable. Archive them, keep them durable. So you can get to them when you want them, whenever it's after some time, but they are not necessarily always available on the phone right now, right here. Right? So that's the difference between availability and durability. Durability versus availability. You want the classroom.google.com site available right now. It's needed, but your army pictures may not be needed right now. They need to be durable. You need to be able to get to them when you want to, need to, but not necessarily available right now. You get the difference? And so you will put your army pictures in Glacier and your classroom in something like S3 or whatever you want, whatever objects you, notes you create or assignments you do or whatever items you store in S3 or you put in Google Drive or wherever or some other place, but it's always available right there, right now, accessible to you whenever you want. As opposed to your army pictures, they are important to save for future in case you want to go back. Look at them. You can put them in Glacier. And so let's look at pricing of Glacier versus pricing of. So let's say Glacier pricing. How much it is? Which one will be cheaper? Glacier or S3?
S3.
S3 will be cheaper. I see. Let's find out what they say. So this is Glacier pricing, and let's see Amazon pricing. Oh, sorry, S3 pricing.
Yep.
So what just happened?
Glacier is oh, yeah, Glacier is cheaper.
That's just cheaper.
Why?
Because it's not
You don't really
available
need
all
it
the time.
right now.
It's not on demand.
Yeah, so it is not on demand. You have to actually pay more money than this to get it out of Glacier. So there is an exit cost to Glacier. Meaning it is like you go to an island, going is free. But coming back, you have to pay me something. That's what this is, almost like that. Glacier. So it is also storage. You put objects. You actually basically move your S3 buckets into Glacier. Take S3, move it to Glacier for cheaper long-term retention, and it will stay there forever with a reliability level reaching multiple 9s. You know what 9s is?
Yeah, just find it on. Yeah.
Do you recall how many nines does S3 claim to be? 11 nines, something like that. So I don't need to go that nine numbers. So the idea here behind Glacier is it lets you archive for long-term, low cost. It describes like that itself. Let's see the description. Is a low-cost, secure, easy-to-use archival storage. Easy to use is questionable, but
So I could easily put stuff in it, it just costs me money to get it out.
get it back. A little bit more. Retrieval cost is there is extra retrieval cost, and you have to create a job. And so retrieve archives, you have to archive or retrieve 3.5 to 4.5 hours after being requested.
Whoa! That's not.
I know, but it's cheaper.
Glacier speed.
Yes, exactly. You know why is Amazon able to do this at such cheap prices?
Because they have the extra space.
Yes, all the older hard disks that they have, they move it to Glacier, and newer hard disks come on S3 or EC2.
okay.
So they put, what do I do with the old hardware I have?
Recycle.
Yes, move it to a new service. Old slow machines, replicate it 100 times. All redundant and
That's why it takes longer to get to retrieve.
slower machines, and they have this actually doesn't take longer. They deliberately do that, so you don't ask for it.
All the time.
So there are business rules, or the way the pricing is a business game, as you know. It's a psychological game. That's what they're playing here. There's nothing that prevents from immediate retrieval. Technically nothing. It should work, but they've chosen not to.
So cost and time.
And they deliberately put a cost on you, so make you wait. Otherwise, you will start storing your stuff in Glacier and not even use S3, which will be bad for them.
Yeah.
So, I'll give you more examples.
So they're not in competition with themselves.
Yeah. Economist. Yeah, it's a good magazine, right? Good subscription magazine. So let's go look at Economist and look at their pricing. It's kind of crazy pricing subscription method. Look at the pricing plans. You will find it amusing. I hope I'm expecting to see what I think they will show me. But yeah, here it is.
Wow. 279.
No, I'm not finding the right thing I wanted to show you.
Print plus digital subscription
Right. Print plus digital is how much? 274.
a week.
And print subscription alone is how much? 219.
a week.
Digital alone is 219. So why would anybody take print only or digital only?
Because they're inefficient.
Maybe they're old, they don't do technology.
Right? True. That's a use case. Why would anybody do just the digital subscription?
Because you're a gypsy.
Yeah.
Gypsy. And so here is a new method of pricing. I'll give you an example. Cloud Genius library after you graduate. Like for example, I'm making stuff up right now.
Okay,
after
so
you
you charge us the
No,
access.
hold on. I'm not.
There was a
I'm
catch.
just giving an example.
Hey, you like your Gmail account? $5 per user.
Thank you for the idea.
No,
Yeah.
forget.
So I told you I'm not going to charge you at all unless Google stops providing me service. In that case, you lose the service.
Yep.
You heard me say that.
Yep. Actually, I heard you were gonna pay for us all in that case.
It's not fair.
So, in-person pricing, online pricing, or rather I should call it book is easier, in-print pricing. Let's call it $100.
You get to save so much money, but not really, I'm spending more money.
Yeah, what do you think of this? Or maybe I should change it a little bit.
She changed the one in the bottom.
Huh?
No, no,
It makes
Yeah,
you
what do you
think
think?
you're saving money, but you're not really, because you're not even using like the print version or like the
Right,
online
right,
version.
right. Yeah, so these are now if I hide this completely, what do you think? This suddenly looks expensive,
Yep.
no thanks.
right? So that's a marketing, pricing gimmick by putting these decoys. These are actually decoys.
It's like how FHE does it, not FHE, FYE does it. They make the DVD say it's worth $25 to begin with, though anywhere else it's only 20. Then they mark it down to $20 with membership.
That's right. And so these are decoys in classic marketing.
Those are idiots.
You deliberately put them in place to illustrate a point that the line number 10 is actually worth $100. Because you always think in comparing with something else you have in mind. Immediate comparison is available right now. And so you want to guide people, and some, maybe I'm talking marketing right now, but you want to guide people into what you want them to do in sets of 3. Who heard me say 3 again?
All of us.
Yes, and the sets of 3 is that you want to price one thing low, one thing really high. What will the user do? Pick the middle. That's how you go. You basically give them these 2 comparison points and let them select the middle point. That's what you should do when you are negotiating a salary. Also, you are selling, right? You are setting a price point. Same thing applies. Too much digression. Come back. Come back. So CloudFront. Who knows what this thing is? You've seen it. Somebody on Saturday saw it. What did I show? Show me. CloudFront. What is this doing?
It's about a content delivery network.
Yes. So
Like
help me
If
understand.
the server is in Singapore and, oh, he said someone not from Satisfy. What? I thought that,
No,
you're right.
okay. So what?
oh, okay. Okay, someone, the servers are all over the world.
Yes.
So if you are in the United States and if you're trying to get, like if your server is in Singapore and if you're trying to get data from there, it'll be cash. It is cash or
So the
something.
user is in India.
Yeah.
Your site is in Seattle. The performance of that user will be bad. Right? The user will hate you. So what do?
You front it.
You push your heavy objects closer to the user. Heavy objects are pictures and videos. HTML and CSS and JavaScript are really small comparatively. Pictures are big. You want to push them closer to your edge locations, wherever they are, edge locations.
Oh.
You push them to the edge by using CDN, Content Delivery Network. Get that? How would you do that? How do you implement? So let's look at this example, our hour of code example. This picture we have, this everyone, whatever, this picture, right click. Look at the image URL.
It's a cache for your remote users, right?
And look at where it is sitting. It is not on the Cloud Genius server. It's from a different server.
Oh, CDN.
And this is not my CDN. This is coming from Amazon CDN, by the way. And here it is. So from this location is where it comes. Because the origin I have is my server and its endpoint domain name is this. So I take that domain name and drop it in place of number 5 and then reconstruct the URL. And cut it, take it to a browser, paste it, this new URL, and I see the picture. It's coming from CloudFront. You see the link is this. The link is not this, but this. They are the same thing. This is a CloudFront representation. This is a CNAME. And for every country, you have a CDN endpoint defined by Amazon CloudFront. You just dig it, clear, dig,
Seller.
clear, make it bigger, and dig. What was the name? CDN. And you see that there are these 8 or 10 entries worldwide replicated on the same domain name from CloudFront. That is an alias to this domain that I am using, and that's what you see here. Got that? That's what CDN is doing for me. Like this. The picture is reaching out worldwide. Whenever some person in Burma, Myanmar, visits my site, that picture will first time come from Seattle. So it will be slow. But any subsequent visits from Cambodia will be faster, because the picture will be cached in Singapore location in CDN from Amazon. Get that? That's how performance of this site is improved worldwide. And with me sitting only in a small box, actually sitting in San Francisco, it's in DigitalOcean. Not the origin is not S3 in this my example I just showed you. The origin is in DO Cloud in San Francisco, somewhere here, not in Seattle. So you get the point, right? How I improve performance? By changing this. I mean, the actual picture is sitting here, by the way, here. And this is the actual picture location.
Right.
And you can go there and it will come straight from San Francisco. If you change it to this, which is a CNAME to this, which is a CNAME to that one, the other one we had.
Right.
Then this is the origin, and the other regional locations are caching a local copy on first request. So let's see how our CloudFront is actually performing for this hour of code picture. So we'll see what are the popular objects. And guess what the popular object is?
The flyer.
See how many requests, sort by number of requests, and the most popular object is Cloud Genius Hour of Code. .png. It's 661 times people saw it, 489 hits, 112 misses. Now what is miss and what is miss and hit? What is a miss? What is a hit?
Actually,
Yeah,
you got
actually
the
loads up.
entire file. Actually, you got the entire package, not just like missing.
So a miss is something in Myanmar, Burma, first time somebody tries to visit. It could not find in Singapore. That's a miss. Could not find in CDN, CloudFront. That's a miss. But next time, it's a hit. I found it locally, it's a hit. If I had to go all the way to San Francisco from the origin server, DigitalOcean, that's a miss.
This is just in regards to your CloudFront.
So this is the CloudFront portal. We are looking at our CloudFront objects, popular objects.
I thought it was in regards to like your entire.
I get it. Yeah, makes sense. So if you think like that, you're right. The context here was CloudFront popular objects report, and the most popular object we have has 661 requests, out of which there were 489 hits, 112 misses.
That's a large miss rate.
Yeah, miss rate is large because lots and lots of people worldwide are reading it first time without going through CDN. Right, subsequent people, these other numbers 489, are repeat visitors, at least in that region. So if somebody in JBLM saw it from the Seattle CDN location, then everybody in Seattle will get a hit. But still not it's still a miss in Germany. Somebody has to visit from Germany and get to establish, hey, I need that file, give it to me, so it will pull down to the German CDN location, and then after that anybody in that region will get a hit. Hit is a faster response, miss is a slower response. You have to go to the origin, to the beginning, the source, the cloud, the actual server, and get it from there. So if I start serving pictures to everybody on the world on my tiny little DigitalOcean box, what might happen? You know what might happen.
So this is how Netflix does it too?
Yes.
So
Yes, indeed. That's how exactly Netflix does. So I'm walking you through a live example with actual things and give you pictures to see what is a hit, what is a miss, what is a hit percent. Bytes consumed, and they'll charge you by the bytes consumed, by the way. These CloudFront guys, byte from misses and bytes from hits and total bytes consumed and all that. So that's how they price. You can get further usage reports and monitoring and alarm and a variety of stuff, cache statistics. So it's pretty interesting to study what's going on once you put it to use. And so I want you to use it. How would you put this to use?
Yeah.
How would you put your WordPress, Juju WordPress deploy, have it running, then add a plugin to use CloudFront CDN. You know how to deploy WordPress using Juju. So you do that, add a plugin to WordPress. The plugin is called, and this plugin will let you connect to CloudFront. Show it to me.
It won't cost us anything.
Huh?
It won't cost us anything.
The plugin itself is free.
Yeah.
Juju will cost you a few cents, and CDN will cost you maybe a cent or less.
I'll just check with my bank.
Check with your bank. Okay, so we'll continue this and finish this off. I want to go through the whole thing and also cover a new piece of technology that is evolving, which is called Docker. You may have heard of it, Docker.
Doctor?
Spell it, please.
DOKR?
Like the Docker?
Docker like a dock.
Oh.
Docker.
Oh, the like Docker.
D-O-C-K-E.
It involves use of terminal.
Oh, good. Yay. Try it. Build, ship, and run an app anywhere.
So I'm taking my LinkedIn.
Oh, nice.
Anybody else? Now I use S3. Upload my
Oh, sweet. Beautiful. Beautiful.
the web developer. So yeah, I use S3 to
You can track who's downloading it. So
When you go to workstations, please pull your computer out, put the keyboard
how many
down.
times you at least get some statistics.
So it'll show
Pretty
me.
please.
Yeah, some stats will become visible. So go and look at
No-go.
some statistics.
No-go.
Give me the gun.
No mama.
Where are they at? This time you are a no-go.
Yes, you can look up Google search S3 stacks.
I'll start doing it. I'll start it. I haven't done that yet, but I'll do it.
Have a group going so we can solve together.